first and foremost, let's understand how the entire thing is structured. The amount of loan could be, say, 100 rupees. Okay, and when the bank sells this bad loan to the bad bank, they don't sell it at 100 rupees. They sell it at a price which is lesser. Why lesser? Because hey, it's a bad loan, right? There is no certainty of getting the entire amount. So which is why they have to sell it at a price which is much lesser, and also there is no interest that the bank is going to demand, because right now only thing that the bank cares about is just getting the amount of loan back. Okay, they don't really see any hope in wanting the interest, because if you're finding it so difficult to get the loan back, interest is even more far-fetched and even more tougher to get. So they just care about the loan. So we have let's say 100 rupees as the loan amount, okay, that a bank is selling off to a particular bad bank, which means now the bad bank is going to be the owner of this loan of 100 rupees, which means the borrower is now have to pay back the 100 rupees to the bad bank and not the bank, because now the bad bank is the owner of that loan, okay, and not the bank. And the bank is only taking some amount of compensation in return for selling that loan off. What is that compensation? That they can mutually decide that, maybe the bank says, hey, I don't want 100 rupees, I just want 50 rupees. And if you can give me 50 rupees, that is also good enough for me, because at least something's better than nothing. As of now, I don't see any point in pursuing this bad loan, because it's really bad and I'm not getting any money at all. So if you can bring me some money, that is good enough for me. And that's how a bank makes a deal to the bad bank. And usually the amount at which the bad bank purchases this loan, as we have seen, is lesser than the amount of the loan. So if the amount of loan is 100 rupees, they might purchase it for something a lot lesser than that. And that is how the entire deal is structured. And the compensation is done not upfront. The bad bank is not sitting on a pool of money that it immediately pays off the bank and says, okay, I'm paying you. The compensation is done at a later point in time, when the bad bank has recovered that amount of money. Next, let us quickly understand how this entire mechanism works. So bad bank purchases bad loans from banks, and when they're making this purchase, they obviously give them some form of compensation. So part of the compensation is in terms of upfront cash, to make it more incentivizing for the banks to be able to sell these bad loans to them, because the banks anyway are not getting any amount of money, but to get upfront cash is a good thing for them, as opposed to no cash at all. So which is why this makes it quite lucrative for a bank to kind of go with selling the bad loans to a bad bank. And the balance amount of compensation is done by something called a security receipt. A security receipt gives some sort of a validation that this is the amount that the bank is going to receive, because the bank has sold the loan off to the bad bank. So in return for it, they're going to receive this amount of money, which is given on the security receipts. And that amount of money is given to the banks at a time when the recovery has been done. So when the bad banks are finally complete with the process of recovering the money, then when they're finally closing on that particular bad loan, in that case they finally settle whatever they have received from the recoveries that they have made. In case if that is equal to the amount that has been promised to the bank on the security receipts, that's amazing. But if it is not equal, it is less, then of course the bank will suffer a loss. At no point is there any sort of commitment by the bad bank that if the amount is not recovered completely, then they will have to pay out of their own pockets. So the bad bank is not required to pay out of their own pockets. They will only pay from the recoveries that has been made. If the amount of recovery is equal to the value which is on the security receipts, perfect, great, they return the amount to the bank. But if not, then that is the amount that is going to be as the loss for the bank.
Do you read newspapers? We didn't think so either. What if you had an expert from every field to explain ideas and topics from their domain in a matter that is so simple that even a 10-year-old can learn just as easily as any of you adult heads? Well, here's introducing Smarticles by Reading Right. Smart news articles explained by rigorously well-read field experts. After a careful selection, these articles have been made available to you in its original form from the only hand-picked worthy publications, while the explanations are inserted on it using an unmatched technology. So now, you can learn word meanings, understand a concept, or get detailed text and video explanations to any line in the article just by a simple tap right there. And we guarantee that you will never feel lost about any topic anymore, even if you don't read newspapers at all. Get ready to smart, only with Reading Right. Statutory warning: not everyone can handle this level of smart, so log on to web.readingright.in or download the Reading Right app from Play Store or App Store at your own risk.